everybody, back with another video, and this week it's the Wave 2 release. So Wendy and Ian will talk to you about what they're excited about.
Thanks, Katie. So the Wave 2, Ian, I mean, for those of our listeners here that are listening, what does it actually mean? Has it been called something else before, and now it's called the Wave 2 release?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the twice yearly biannual release of updates to the Dynamics and the Power Platform, and it's really exciting because the pace of development is just unbelievable. So that it's grouped together to release twice a year. Now this year it's been called Wave 1 in the spring, and there's Wave 2 now in the autumn. Last year it was actually called spring and fall releases, I think. But yeah, so alongside in some cases the monthly and even in some cases even weekly updates that are happening for minor fixes and what have you, this is the real big feature release in this part of the year, and some really exciting stuff. As it is, we're lucky to be party to some of the early preview. So we get to play with some of the stuff early. So it's very exciting now that today, 2nd of October, global availability has been announced. So or actions. So slowly you'll find that updates to across the whole of the Dynamics 365 and Power Platform will be rolled out across all the data centers. So yeah, that's what's exciting. Some new toys to play with.
Yeah, more shiny.
More shiny.
More shiny.
So Wendy, what's sort of kind of hit your radar over the last few weeks as we've been reviewing this?
I think because much of my work is in Dynamics 365 sales, particularly when I'm managing leads or opportunities, and I'm using the email from the Dynamics 365 app, from the Sales Hub app a lot. So I'm using, essentially what I do is I get an email in and I use the Dynamics button in my Outlook and quick create the lead and track the email there. So then I go into sales and then manage with email templates that I've got set up, communicating with those leads and trying to engage them and warm them to create an opportunity. So the thing that's exciting about this for me is is essentially the enhancements to the email editor, which I think they are very good and they're really useful if you're trying to warm a lead. So they are things like the engagement, the opportunity to check whether an email's been opened, to flag if it's not been opened by a certain time. For example, if I've got a special offer, or I'm creating a discount for them, maybe that might expire at a certain time, have they responded? Also, I can schedule. It will pick up where in the world I'm sending that email to and tell me what time is best time to send it. So, and I think these are invaluable if you're working leads to opportunities in Dynamics. I think there's some enhancements on the formatting side. I haven't had a look at that yet, but I can see that you can have a pop-out window, or you can continue to do it in screen so that you're keeping your productivity levels up because you're not having to navigate from one place to another. So I think for me, it sounds a bit kind of nerdy, but I'm quite excited by the changes to the email, the enhancements to the email editor anyway.
I think what we've raised is really important though, Wendy, because let's be honest, I think there's two things. One is how important email still is. Let's be honest. If you're trying to talk to somebody and it's serious, you send an email. It's as good as a written document with a signature against it these days, as we all know. But also, you mentioned the fact that you're in Outlook and you're using you're effectively working with Dynamics data, or you're pushing contacts and leads directly into Dynamics from your Outlook, or vice versa. And of course, what a bit I like is the fact that you go into Dynamics and it's reading your emails, reading the context of your emails and going, hey, I think this email is relevant to this opportunity. Do you want to tag it there?
Yeah.
Or, there's you said in this email, hey, Joe, let's have a catch up again next week. Do you want to have a meeting with this person? I mean, phenomenal stuff going on there.
Yeah.
But for some people, they'll operate the whole time in Outlook, and they can do that. Or like you and I both do, I have Outlook and I have my Dynamics open all the time, and I'll operate between the two. But that functionality in terms of email engagement, though, is incredible, and I've used it to make sure that I have guaranteed that somebody who's going into a board meeting next Wednesday, for example, has the information with them, and I've checked whether they've read it and opened it before that meeting. If not, a reminder comes up so I can pick the phone and go, hey Joe, before that meeting, don't forget to take those numbers with you. So really, really powerful stuff.
Yeah, I can see there's some change to forecasting as well. Forecasting is quite new within Dynamics 365, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and certainly this has come from the big sales-led companies with large Salesforce floors to want to be able to get, you could always buy in more accurate forecasting from a third party, but now Dynamics has got much more customizable forecasting built into it. So it'd be interesting to see how that shapes up in the next few weeks if we start to get more use of and looking into that for our customers. Yeah, absolutely.
And I suppose if you've got that kind of data internally, then you could actually make it even more powerful by putting Power BI on top of that as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Power BI and also gamification. I haven't had a look at that bit yet, but gamification has certainly had a bit of a revamp. It's interesting how different functionality gets the spotlight every now and then, and gamification is always kind of there, but it didn't appeal to a lot of people. But I think again, with those large sales floors, it can really drive some engagement in sales. So I haven't not looked at that yet, but maybe we can spike that for another call sometime, Wendy.
Yeah, well, there is a lot going on, isn't there? And I know you're particularly interested in Dynamics 365 marketing, and there's been a fairly major change there, I think. Can you tell us about it?
Oh, now you're getting
usual enthusiasm.
Yeah, no, I think there's some again, Dynamics marketing, Dynamics 365 marketing has had a lot of focus recently, and in some very important areas. The social posting scheduling has had a revamp, and that's really good, and I think necessary in this day and age as well. So very much so around being able to much more accurately schedule across different social channels as well, but also the analytics that come back. The analytics are superb, so really powerful for modern day account-based marketing, what have you, for the marketeers to be able to see that. And I know Katie is looking into that for us and using that for us ourselves, so that's really cool. I've not had a go yet, but I'm excited about the ability to use natural language querying to create segments. The segments is not perhaps the easiest element to use, but so important, because you really need an accurate segment to be able to target your marketing effort. But to be able to use natural language for that, I think that's really cool. I want to create me a segment of all those customers who bought X in this period that we have, that are in our highly conducted, or whatever it is, and to see that query being turned into a proper segment is amazing. Yeah. But the one that I'm really excited about, as you know, is the integration of Teams into the virtual events. So Dynamics Marketing also does events really, really well. And up until recently, the only real integration for offering virtual events has been with On24. And to be honest, that's for large enterprise customers like Microsoft. Whereas we've wanted to be able to offer weekly or fortnightly webinars to our partners, to our distributors, to our customers, and we wanted to schedule that online. And to be able to now integrate that into Teams has been something that I've been desperately waiting to see happen, and that's rolling out as of today. I think that's going to be huge for particularly for the SMB market, who want to be able to engage regularly with their customers and to be able to create a reoccurring event in Dynamics 365 marketing, and have all the emails, the attendance all built into that platform. Very, very exciting stuff.
Yeah. I think well, I had a brief kind of look at the 2020 release wave overview, which is, we'll put a link to that actually on our screens when we edit this. There's an awful lot going on. We could talk about this for hours and probably days and end up boring ourselves. But I think perhaps we could take a look at customer service, for example, next week, and you know, really bring some of those things to, because I think I'm actually very fond of customer service, but it doesn't often get a lot of mentions. But I think it's such a useful workload, you know, and the changes that I can see that have happened there, I think, are very useful. So I suggest that we bring that to people next week. Alongside maybe Business Central, something like that. And if we get any requests about, you know, a further deep dive into this, then we can add that into our agenda as well.
You're right to bring up customer service, absolutely. An often overlooked element, but so important in this day and age. You know, that engagement with your customers before, during, and after any sale is critical. So yeah, let's pick up on that next week, Wendy, and then maybe we'll pick up on other elements going forward. I think the whole area around insights is huge.
Yes. Yeah.
Teasing out the 4 types of insights that are now available and what they can actually do alongside the core elements as well. But hey, that's for another day, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think
brilliant. Thank you both for sharing those really exciting things that are coming out, and please feel free to subscribe and share and like and comment on this video with more ideas for new videos. We look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
Thanks, Katie. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Everybody.